Welcome, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by, coming at you yet again to review a relatively new movie. Once again, as I said before, something that used to be relatively rare on this channel because I didn't used to belong to so many streaming services that I'm now a part of because of introductory, very small, very cheap $2 a month trial offers that I've been doing ever since like Black Friday, Thanksgiving-ish time, 2022. So I've got a year of, a year from like Thanksgiving of last year to this year of Paramount Plus for $2 a month. So I was able to see this movie on Paramount Plus for no additional cost. This one looked intriguing to me being an outdoor and camping enthusiast and a lover of the woods and the outdoors and all that kind of stuff. This movie, based on the poster and the trailer, looked right up my alley, coming at you to review. I guess a Paramount Plus exclusive, the film by the name of Significant Other, which is something that I was excited about. Honestly, I'm not crazy about these movies that exist only on streaming services. Like, obviously it's a way to get people signed up on streaming services, but I was really afraid that I was going to love this movie and then be all pissed off that I can't own it on DVD or Blu-ray, which I'm pretty sure is the case. I don't think you can own it on DVD or Blu-ray, but luckily the movie turned out to be not that amazing, so I don't really worry about not being able to own it on DVD or Blu-ray. I don't know if I can really review this without spoiling it. Maybe I'll try to review it without spoiling it. Basically, very simple premise, right up my alley. A couple, a guy and a girl, go off to basically do some backpacking in the wilderness in several days. Looks like it's really crazy how many days. I don't know how many days they're planning on being camping in the woods or whatever, but looks like for at least a handful of days, if for sure. So it's just like, and basically we learn early on that the guy is the backpacking camping enthusiast, and she's nervous. No, she's kind of just an anxious person in general, I guess, but she's anxious about doing this backpacking camping thing because I guess she hasn't really done it before. She probably feels more at ease surfing on the old surf board or whatever, we find out. But guy and girl, basically, I don't know if they're probably 20-somethings or whatever, go out to do some backpacking in the woods, and I think I don't want to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it. One thing I'll just simply say is the poster and the trailer make it seem like some other kind of a movie, like psychological thriller or something, and I was disappointed. And you kind of find out to a certain extent really early on that this is another kind of movie, and it's not so much psychological, and that was a disappointment. But since I didn't have to pay any additional money to see it, it's really not that big a deal. One thing I will say is, one thing I really did love about the movie is obviously the outdoor forest, nature, camping, backpacking aspect of the movie, which is basically the whole movie. I definitely really liked, and even though it was presumably shot digitally, one would imagine, just because something's shot digitally doesn't mean it's automatically crap. Like, it's something that I've been saying for years. There's a bunch of movies like It Comes at Night and other movies that I can't think of off the top of my head right now that have been shot digitally that do manage to look, at the end of the day, relatively good. And this is one of them. It's a very beautiful looking movie, presumably shot digitally. And just the fact that it like takes place outdoors, like from the very beginning to the very end, is a plus. Obviously, one of my favorite things about the movie. And honestly, the first half of the movie I really liked, and it was kind of like just the couple's interaction, camping, backpacking, this and that. And like, I guess maybe when they get closer to the halfway mark or something like that, or somewhere after the first 30 minutes, like they start getting argumentative. The guy proposes to her, and she like has a panic attack, and it's kind of no, and after that things get a little dicey, and the movie, at that, up to that point and at that point, was just like, wow, this is really kind of cool. And I could watch this, I could watch a movie of 90 minutes of just this, and okay, without any like whatever the movie ends up turning into. And just I could just watch a movie about this couple backpacking in the woods, and the proposal that that went the wrong way, and then how the trip like deteriorates. You know, that would have been enough for me. Of course, the movie has to turn into what it turns into, and I'm not going to spoil it, and also save time that way. Long story not so long, the first half of the movie I was really digging, and I was like disappointed that, god damn it, like halfway through I was like, god damn it, I can't own this on DVD or Blu-ray. But by the time the movie, you know, ended, I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter, I can't own it on DVD or Blu-ray because I probably don't need to see it again, because unfortunately, like halfway through, for reasons I'm not going to spoil or get into because it's like spoilers, and what the hell, if you got Paramount Plus, you can see it for free, whatever. Probably, I don't know if there's other means to see it for free. I'm not big on that kind of a, you know, whatever, trickery front or whatever, but yeah, long story not so long, halfway through it turns into something that it was just completely not expected. One thing I will say is the guy, without spoiling it, the guy's performance as the boyfriend, from like the moment, you know, something is revealed to the end, just like the performance of the guy is fun. As, like, we'll just say as the antagonist, I guess we'll just say the performance is fun, and some of the dialogue and the writing is, it makes you smile and makes you laugh, and the way it's handled in a humorous way is funny and kind of fun. But still, the overall thing, I was just like, oh, I would have much rather had it been a whatever, just a basic psychological thriller movie. Unfortunately, that's not what it ends up becoming. So I guess that'll pretty much do it for my review of Significant Other. I mean, the title really doesn't, unless the movie is going for this kind of bait and switch thing, the title doesn't really, you know, when you've seen the movie, it doesn't necessarily represent necessarily what the movie turns out to be about. Maybe that's part of it's trying to be trickery or whatever, and surprise or whatever, but yeah, take it for what it is. One thing I can say is very beautiful scenery. You know, the girl's kind of cute, and obviously, you know, it kind of deals with, maybe I was going to say subtly, maybe it's not that subtle, the whatever that's going on these days with more and more youth just having like anxiety issues and all these kind of mental issues. And obviously this movie deals with that aspect of today's unfortunate youth situation, and it deals with that very much with like the 2022 Texas Chainsaw deals with a character suffering from PTSD from a school, you know what, thing. I'm not even going to say it. A school, something unfortunate that took place at school. I mean, every day at school is something unfortunate in my opinion, but we'll just say, you know, the character from that film, the 2022 Chainsaw film, the main character was a survivor of something unfortunate that happened at school, and kind of PTSD. So I mean, so many of these movies now are, you know, working the phenomenon of what's going on unfortunately with the youth, and the rising, you know, the rising amounts of these kind of, you know, anxiety, and so many people with anxiety and all these mental issues or whatever. I'm not like pointing fingers. I mean, I've pretty much got kind of mental issues too, so I'm not like, you know, going hey or whatever, but it you know, the kind of issues that I have are just are becoming more prevalent, I guess, as the generations go on. So lucky them or whatever. But my star rating for Significant Other, I'll go we'll just go shit. We'll go 1.5 stars out of 4 stars, just because I do love the first half, and I appreciate the movie's beautiful scenery and the environment it takes place in. And even though I dislike what the movie ends up becoming, I mean, it's kind of cool, and the way the guy plays when he's, you know, an antagonist or whatever is fun and entertaining or whatever. But I just would have preferred a, whatchamacallit, just a psychological thriller versus what it turns out to be. But I guess that pretty much does it for my review of Significant Other. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one.